Today on Drawbli.
Ben is doing value studies.
Hey, I'm Ben.
And I'm Abby.
And we are self-taught artists documenting our drawing adventures because art is better when shared with friends.
So click that subscribe button if you're new around here.
And don't forget to check out our guidebook on daily drawing linked below. Abby, I am doing some value studies.
Ben, when I saw these, I was so impressed. And I really wanted to try it out myself.
You should. Everyone should be trying out some value studies. These first few, I actually didn't record because I did them so quick, and I also did them while experimenting with some new brushes, which you can see some of that texture coming through. I'm not normally a big texture guy, but most recently I've been getting into texture, baby.
I love it. And I also really like your sketch here. It has a good energy to it. Good job.
Thank you. I'm aiming for that good stylistic energy.
I need to do this. Ooh, look at this. Like, you got this sheet at the left here where you got the light and mid-tone and the shadow and the, ooh.
So yeah, my last two here, again, I didn't record these first three. The last one I did record. This is just the Procreate like playback, but I'll explain that whole thing over here on the left.
Yeah.
So this is the one that I actually recorded and the one that I spent the most time on. The last one was Keanu Reeves, by the way.
I saw
put up the
that.
reference image for him so other people could see. But yes, this is the light family on top and the shadow family on the bottom. This means that your lights, everything in your light family should never be darker than anything in your shadow family and vice versa. So something like the biggest mistake, and I have known this for a while, but it was reiterated in a recent Marco Bucci video of him talking about, just you need to be really careful of this. It's probably the biggest mistake that he sees. And I totally agree. I think when you're focusing on color, not just value, but hue and saturation, it's really hard to make sure that you're staying true to that. And if you don't, that's what starts to make things look muddy and kind of oftentimes flat. So I really tried to work on this in this one, and I still think I failed.
No, not at all. I've seen your finished result, and the contrast is really striking, and I think it's really hitting something that I definitely know that I'm lacking in some of my work, is that really sharp and good contrast. I would love to get more of that myself, so I might have to go check out this video by Marco Bucci and refresh myself.
One of his new ones.
Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, it's a good one. So yeah, this is, I'm not gonna lie, value studies, every time I do them, I'm like, oh, I'm focusing on less, so it's going to be easier. But in truth, I always hit a stage of a value study where, I hit this point and I'm like, I need more values. So I specifically started off with just these 6 values over here on the top left, where I was like, okay, here's my light, that one in the middle, shadow, that one on the top of the shadow family.
Yeah.
And I was like, just those 2. That's what I'm gonna start with. And then I'm gonna start doing some stuff with some bounced light, some mid-tones, and then I'll finish off with some ambient occlusion and highlights. So I do all that, and then I get to this place where I'm just like, oh, I need more value, more range, a wider range. But I should be, I want to get better at just using 2 values and then expanding from there. It's really hard though, I'm not gonna lie. It is a tough challenge, but these are such good exercises. Genuinely some of the best exercises I think you could do. It really leaves no room for interpretation.
Yeah, and it's so interesting too. I wish that I feel like I've done something like this a long time ago, and I like to think that it still feeds forward into the future, and then I'm kind of remembering this maybe a little more subconsciously in my current work, but there's nothing beats a good study,
I think studies are important and good. Speaking of things that are important and good, Abby, I see that you have some coffee over there.
Yeah, that didn't last long. But
for anyone who's been following,
I tried to give up coffee for a little bit.
2 days have passed. And
This is day 3, and all of a sudden, we were just sitting here, and I was like, oh my gosh, I think I've gotten hit by a truck.
Abby, every time we record Drawbli, you get hit by a truck. You get very tired in the Drawbli. I think it's sitting down in the cozy office is what
I think that's what it is, because I like to draw. I like Drawbli, but as soon as we sit down to record, I'm like, oh, is it nap time? Did somebody turn
We gotta put some spikes on these chairs. They're too comfortable.
My brain even felt like staticky. Like I truly felt static in my brain that was like not allowing me to think. So
your brand new 1-gallon water bottle? Let's fill that with coffee.
Let's not. I would die. But I am pleased that, I think a perfectly valid approach to decreasing caffeine consumption is precisely that, decreasing.
True.
And trying to go, without it as much as we can. I don't know. There might be an extenuating factor today that has led to me feeling so tired that's not caffeine withdrawal. But
truthfully, a goal that's like, I will stop drinking coffee for this amount of time, instead should probably look like, I'm going to drink less coffee for this amount of time.
Yeah. I think I wanted to start off strong and really set myself a good goal. And I'm glad I did, because it really helped me get through the first 2 days not feeling anything. But the YouTube video I watched on like decreasing caffeine said if you just drop it entirely, the worst part of it can be like day 3 through 5.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so we're decreasing here. This would normally be my second or third cup of the day, and it is my only one.
No more 3 cups of coffee a day. That's dangerous.
Well, we have what we have here at the house is half calf. I have
for now
caffeinated beans mixed with decaf beans.
For now, yeah.
So I don't think. But when we go to Starbucks and I just drink a regular coffee, I'm like, oh, is that what caffeine feels like again? Okay, wow. So in general, I drink less than I used to, just from that alone.
Well, hey, you mentioned that you would like to do one of these studies. When are we going to see that?
Probably next time I draw. Right now, I'm putting my time into drawing I have chalk paint markers, and I'm drawing fun, colored designs onto our mirrors, because we're having a party here soon for our friends.
Are those the markers that you borrowed that you were telling me about?
Uh-huh.
I was going to tell you, we have a bunch of those markers.
I know, but I remember them being tiny, so, but I will pull them up and use them.
I was going to say, we have a bunch of them, actually.
Yeah, bring those up, because I'm drawing right now a mermaid onto our tall glass mirror.
Genuinely, we should give those to your sister.
No, they're for me. I'm the one using them right now.
I apologize.
I'm drawing a mermaid, and we have a black light now, so I'm going to put all these in the room with the black light, and then when our party time comes, I'm going to turn on the black light, and all of these cool things will glow.
Heck yeah.
I'm not very well versed yet in hosting or throwing parties. To date, I've never really hosted much. And it's
not
an art.
True.
Oh, sure it is.
We've done a number of parties, but...
Only lately in our lives, but before I never did.
That's because we were busy with young people things. Now we're old.
I suppose so. But I really like it. It's a skill. There's all kinds of books out there on hosting and
yes, we're
throwing
old
parties.
And fabulously wealthy from Drawbli.
You do kind of have to have a little moolah on hand, I feel like, for a party, because you're kind of responsible for the bulk of the decorations, kind of the bulk of the food, drinks.
Logs into Drawbli analytics, checks how much money we've made. $0. Interesting.
Good thing I have a job to pay other bills. A job where I do messy things with people's bodies, but it works.
Yes, this YouTube channel is not even monetized, so...
No.
Which is totally fine.
But I like my messy job with people's bodies job.
Oh, no, you do?
I do, actually.
What?
I do. I like being a nurse. It's fun.
I like my job as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, I like making art.
Yeah, I think your job's
Teaching
super
other people
cool.
art.
Uh-huh.
Making some cool tools like my mod mesh and other stuff like that.
Absolutely. There's pros and cons to any job, aren't there? But
so true.
But as long as you have the right mindset.
Do you think of Drawbli as a job?
No, I don't think of it as a job, because I don't think of it, because I'm not like clocking in somewhere and I don't have a salary or that kind of thing, and it's purely for my own self. I feel like a job is something where you go and tell people like, hey, I'll trade you this amount of my time and my work for money. And Drawbli is a lot more intrinsic. Like,
this is true.
I come to it with my own motivation, although you're a big part of that too, which is very helpful. As a I love this one. I know this one's a simple one from the beginning, but I just really like it.
Thank you.
And yeah, I don't think of Drawbli as a job. It is a joy.
That's probably for the best. And if you want to be for the best, whatever that means to you, click that like and subscribe button and check out our guidebook, How to Easily Draw Every Day, at the link below.
Share your work on Instagram with #Drawbli because drawing is better with friends.
And this is the part where we say
Goodbye.
Goomba.
You're liking your coffee too?
I do, yeah. I like coffee.
You drink a
Coffee's-
normal amount.
Coffee is one of my favorite just flavors, I would say.
Everything
like
about
coffee
it is so
flavored
good.
ice cream.
Yeah,
Choice.
it's not out of my life forever. I'm just reducing it a little bit.